When it comes to conspiracy theories, is Christianity part of the problem or part of the solution? Aden Cotterill Do certain tenets of Christian belief lend themselves to conspiracism? Or could a healthy dose of orthodox Christian belief inoculate Christians against the conspiratorial contagion? Why are so many Christians to be found in the ranks of today's conspiracy theorists? Just consider the popularity of a movement like QAnon, which claims that Donald Trump is waging a secret war against a worldwide cabal of Satan-worshipping paedophiles among evangelicals. As is apparent from the testimony of Lorrie Shock, the very language of evangelical Christianity is amenable to adherence to QAnon. I feel God led me to Q. I really feel like God pushed me in this direction. I feel like if it was deceitful, in my spirit, God would be telling me, enough's enough. But I don't feel that. I pray about it. I've said, Father, should I be wasting my time on this? And I don't feel that feeling of I should stop. But this is not just an evangelical right thing. As Joseph Usinski argues, the propensity for conspiracy thinking is not predictable along ideological lines. This is a problem for many Islamic communities too. And though QAnon has a distinctly evangelical flavor, other worldviews and traditions are susceptible to their own forms of intellectual erosion. The proliferation of conspiracy theories is a shared phenomenon, and everyone who inhabits our epistemically fragmented world is susceptible to their allure. How, then, might Christianity help and hinder the spread of conspiracy theories? And by Christianity, I mean its ideas, its theology. The relationship between church attendance and conspiratorial thinking, for example, is not the being addressed here. Instead, I want to offer an honest self-examination of Christian belief. To this end, I want to explore a number of epistemic skeletons in the Christian's closet, those beliefs that might predispose Christians to embracing conspiracies, and a number of epistemic treasures in our tradition, those beliefs that might help inoculate Christians against conspiracy theories. The Christian believes there is more to reality than meets the eye. The Apostle Paul wrote to an early church community, "We live by faith, not by sight," 2 Corinthians 5:7. And Jesus taught his disciples, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed," John 19:29. I cannot see or observe God as I might a cell under a microscope, and so I live by faith or trust in God's previous revelation in history. On account of such beliefs, David Robertson argues that conspiracy theories and Christianity are evidentially equivalent. From a philosophical point of view, there is nothing inherently more irrational about any of these conspiratorial claims when compared to Christian belief. The reason QAnon is deemed odd, but not Christianity, is purely contextual, the result of a developed acceptability over time. Many Christians would concede to Robertson's claim, taking their religious faith to be the suspension of reason. This is what faith without sight really means. They sense their faith isn't all that different to conspiracy theories, at least in terms of having good reasons for believing it. This concession is bound to foster some cognitive dissonance, even if not entirely consciously. How can I ridicule conspiracy theories when my own beliefs seem equally unjustified? They might conclude that Christianity is just as absurd as the conspiracies they mock. But such a concession is often the first domino to fall, the catalyst in an epistemic chain reaction. The softening of criteria for an initial specific belief risks spilling over into other general beliefs. There is little evidence for my faith, and I maintain it anyway, so I might as well believe other things that are equally unsubstantiated. The Christian's worldview becomes permeable. The initial suspension of reason, a certain conception of faith without sight, amounts to a porous breach in their belief structures, through which all sorts of conspiratorial ideas can flood the mind. The folly of the wise. The Christian's belief that even the wise are often foolish is another belief worth assessing. The deep state is a concept central to many conspiracy theories. Our lives are controlled by plots hatched in secret places. Although we ostensibly live in a democracy, a small group of people run everything, but we don't know who they are. When big events occur, pandemics, recessions, wars, terrorist attacks, it is because that secretive group is working against the rest of us. The Conspiracy Theory Handbook similarly notes that a defining feature of conspiratorial thinking is an overriding suspicion of any official account, that all such accounts are based on deception. Those in power, the elites, cannot be trusted. There is more going on behind the scenes. The Christian belief in the folly of the wise risks producing such thinking. For instance, Jesus prayed, "I praise you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because you have hidden these things from the wise and learned, and revealed them to little children." Luke 10:21. For Jesus, those in the know were often out of the know. The realities of God are hidden from them, the wise and learned. This theme is further developed by the Apostle Paul, 1 Corinthians 1:18, 20, 25. For it is written, "I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, the intelligence of the intelligent I will frustrate." Where is the wise person? Where is the teacher of the law? Where is the philosopher of this age? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of the world? For the foolishness of God is wiser than human wisdom. For Paul, the teacher or philosopher is not actually wise, after all. It is the humble disciple, the fool, that has access to the hidden things of God by the Spirit. The overriding suspicion of conspiratorial thinking could be easily instigated or perpetuated by this theology, encouraging as it does the rejection of official accounts of things. And this is only compounded by what Paul says next: "None of the rulers of this age understood God's wisdom, for if they had, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory." 1 Corinthians 2:8. This thought is in step with the rest of the New Testament. Herod and Pontius Pilate met together with the Gentiles and the people of Israel in this city to conspire against your holy servant Jesus.